Hello, my name is Jessica Sturgis, and today I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech over the verses of nature and nurture. Nature, the essential or inherited features of something, especially when seen as characteristic of it, like your facial features and other kind of genetic traits. Nurture, the process of caring for and encouraging the growth of development of someone or something, like how a parent talks to their child kindly to make them nicer. Okay, so nature versus nurture, which is the most powerful influence on a person's characteristic? Nature versus nurture has been a worldwide argument and discussion between several diverse groups, from all the way from psychologists to teaching, because there's so many different people that want to discuss what they think is truly how somebody is. More people strive off of how they are nurtured as a child versus nature, if you ask me. Growing up in a growing up in a house with several other children and being raised closely the same and having very similar personalities is ordinary to try for people in this world. Yes, I can see how nature can affect others' vision in ways like how one person is naturally going to act certain to one person because of some family relations, just because that's how they see it in this world. But usually they were taught to act that way towards other people. And one crucial thing to think about is that the kinder you are treated, the more thoughtful you're more likely going to be in how you're going to treat others in the same way. So, growing up, our parents always told us to treat others how we want to be treated. And technically, that is how nurture works. So, however, our parents want us to act towards others, things, it is what they have to display to their children. For example, if my parent wanted me to talk to adults kindly and not just treat them as a friend, they would teach me the discipline on how you are supposed to act towards your elders. It's very common in the South that we are more likely going to talk to our elders with kindness and respect. However, not everybody goes through this way because their parents didn't show the respect towards adults the way they should have, because they have to display the exact same affection, and it has to be usually passed down through their parents too. So usually when it starts out with one parent, it gets passed down through generations unless there is change wanting to be happened. Okay, so nobody is alike, which is affiliated with nature since we naturally get our personalities. However, sometimes our personalities can be changed through how our parents are treating us, which it's sad to say that our parents are such a big role in our growing up. We will not strive if our parents don't show us to strive. We have to be taught to strive through other kinds of developments. Still, those personalities were developed through what we see and have learned, and no one can physically decide what they want to be from birth. Because when you are born, you don't know anything. It's new. Everything is new to you. So, what your parents show you, what you are taught, how you are taught, is what is truly important for children. Like I said, when you were born, you are nothing to knowledge. You have no knowledge of any form other than you want food, you want to cry, you want attention. That's just how it is. And that's why when you are born, you are stubborn. And that's when they start to learn, oh, if I cry, well, I'm just going to get food, or I'm just going to get changed, or they're going to pick me up. So that is some of its nature and some of its nurture. Nature can affect how people act towards often other different things from them. But it only happens from when they were taught it in a life comprehended to what they naturally want to do. Because when we are growing up, our parents tell us, well, you can't do that, so you don't need to do it. And so we decide, well, we shouldn't do that either. So when we show our children and our grandkids on how we want to act, how that we want them to act, it's usually from how our parents wanted us to act, unless you're just a very stubborn and you're set in your own ways, and that can also be affected through some children. So, in summary, no matter what household one is raised in, what they have learned from what one has seen growing up will affect them, but nature itself is what happens from birth that comes naturally to one another. So, nature is a big, nature is a very big aspect of life. Yes. Because naturally we're going to have our skin pigment, naturally we're going to have our eye color, naturally we're going to have our hair. We don't get to choose our parents, but how our parents treat us is how we're going to treat others. And treating others is such a big part of growing up. We have to treat others with kindness if we want to. So we have to learn it somewhere, and that's from nurture. I learned while growing up that most things are done primarily through encouragement, a critical aspect of growing up. It is having the courage on your side that shapes us to be. A very well known psychologist that studied nature versus nurture is Francis Galton. And that is why it's so important for us. Psychologists study them, teachers study them. They want to know why exactly nature versus nurture, which one it is, which one could beat the other. And I believe nurture would be the one that's the most superior part of growing up. Thank you.